baka magkaroon ng pre-existing conditions yung bata like diabetes or hypertension, lalo na if it's common to your family. So there are cases when early 20s nagkakaroon ng diabetes, and it really affects the insurability of a certain person. Kapag usually may diabetes na or hypertension, mahal na talaga ang premiums. And in most cases, in my experience, nadi-decline yung critical illness cover. Hey! This is Kuya Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of Pera and Purpose Podcast, a show about money and meaning. My aim is for you to use money as a tool to live a meaningful life. Yon! So before we begin this episode, again, another gratitude shoutout muna tayo. And in this episode, I want to show my appreciation to one of my fellow coaches sa Yaman Coach program ni Coach Efren. She is Coach Rose Gases for always sharing our podcast episodes, lalo na if may guest tayo na isang Yaman Coach din. Si Coach Rose is a fellow registered financial planner and also a health enthusiast. Meron siyang Facebook page na Finance and Beats, and you can follow her there. So again, Coach Rose, if ever na mapakinggan mo tong episode na to, I just want to say thank you for always showing your support. Yon! So, guys, this is the third episode of Hey Kuya Jay. And in this particular segment, we answer questions na nare-receive ko in social media or any other messaging platforms. So, recently, naka-receive tayo ng isang inquiry via WhatsApp. Sabi niyo dito, Kuya Jay, pahingi sana ako ng advice. Plan kasi naming ikuha ng life insurance ang aking mga anak. 1-year-old and 4 years old yung isa. Ano ba ang best na insurance na kunin? Wow, very very uncommon na question ito usually for me. And it's actually a great question. And in most cases kasi, it's not recommended to buy life insurance for children. Kasi again, I'll always focus on the main purpose ng life insurance, which is to cover the loss of income when the breadwinner dies. And it's very obvious naman na hindi naman breadwinners yung mga bata. Pero it's still something that some parents consider because ngayon nga na may pandemic, no? Just in case lang, very low rates na magkaroon ng mga bata, no? Na it might develop something in the future which can affect yung insurability nila. Okay? So, we'll discuss dito sa episode na to yung pros and cons and even yung aking final decision on this particular question. So, let's start with the pros. Ayan, pros muna tayo. One of its pros is yung protecting the future insurability of the child or children. Kasi again, when you talk about future insurability, we're talking about yung chances na baka magkaroon ng pre-existing conditions yung bata like diabetes or hypertension, lalo na if it's common to your family. So there are cases when early 20s nagkakaroon ng diabetes, and it really affects the insurability of a certain person. Kapag usually may diabetes na or hypertension, mahal na talaga ang premiums. And in most cases, in my experience, nadi-decline yung critical illness cover. So pwedeng insurable sila, mas mahal yung premiums kasi nga there's a risk of developing other diseases kapag meron ka ng hypertension or diabetes. Usually combined nga yan eh. And magkambal yan minsan, magkamag-anak yung sakit na yan. And it greatly affects yung premiums ng isang tao if they decide to get life insurance with other riders doon, okay? So, that's one, if baka makadevelop ng pre-existing illness. And it's also useful for children with special needs. Kasi ang mga tao or mga individuals with special needs might require lifetime na protection or lifetime na financial support. Kaya maganda itong gamitin if you think na your child might have that certain special needs. Okay? And then also, protecting their future insurability means na baka yung anak ninyo might choose a career na high risk. When you say high risk, there's a higher chance of dying because of the risks involved sa career na pipiliin nila. Like let's say naisip nila maging pilot or maging sundalo, maging police, or let's say maging nurse and then madistino sa isang remote area. Let's say dito sa Abu Dhabi may ganyan. Parang naka-station sila sa isang remote station, oil and gas company. So they need to fly to that particular area para mag-serve as a company nurse. So pag mga ganong cases, tinatawag yun ng mga high risk na they can be tagged as high risk professionals, kaya yung kanilang life insurance might be affected. Yung premiums ng kanilang life insurance might be affected. So that is one of the pros ng pagkuha ng life insurance for your children. Again, if you want to protect their future insurability. Okay. Second is, of course, meron itong low rate of premium. Bakit low rate of premium? Kasi nga, again, the chances of a child dying is very unlikely. And if you check the trend, pababa siya ng pababa historically. And that's happening not just in the Philippines but also globally. So I'll send you the link. I'll share with you the link yung comparison ng Philippines versus other countries. Pero for the last ilang decades, so I think 4 decades, pababa ang infancy mortality rate ng Philippines. Kaya when it comes to premiums, mas mababa talaga. Kasi nga, hindi naman napakababa ng chance na mamatay ang isang bata sa panahon na ngayon. Kaya it's one of the pros na nilagay ko dito. It has low rate of premium. And then, next is, it has cash value. Bakit may cash value? Kasi oftentimes, kapag kumuha ka ng life insurance for a child, ang ino-offer sa market would be a whole of life plan or permanent life insurance. Meaning, may kasama lagi yan na cash value involved. So you're paying for the premiums, for the cost of insurance ng bata, and also a portion of it will be invested. Very few companies would offer term life insurance for a child. And ang common na binibigay is itong ang whole of life. Meaning meron itong palagi na cash value. And itong cash value na to is pwedeng magamit in the future either by you, pwede kang magkaroon ng withdrawals ng pera pag nagkaroon na siya ng gains, or pwede rin siyang magamit for the needs of your child in the future. Baka pag kinasal sila, they can liquidate this amount pag nag-grow na nga and use that as a gift. Yung iba, nire-recommend na gamitin siyang educational plan, which mamaya I'll tell you my opinion about that in using life insurance as an educational plan for your child. Okay, so that's one of the pros. It has cash value most of the time. And then lastly is there's payout in time of death. So very morbid, no? Ayaw nating pag-usapan, ayaw nating tinatake lang death of a child. And again, the purpose of the life insurance mainly is to cover the loss of income if the policy owner dies. So yun. And pero ito yun, this particular payout can be used for expenses like yung burial costs, or if talagang malala yung impact sa iyo as a parent ng pagkawala ng anak mo, you can use a portion of the money, or kung may manatira pa from after nung burial expenses or funeral costs, you can use that for grief counseling. For grief counseling, you can hire the services of a psychiatrist to help you cope during that unfortunate event. Mahirap mawala ng anak, definitely. And hindi ko alam yung nafe-feel ng mga parents who lost their children, kasi hindi pa naman ako nagkaanak, but definitely na-experience ko na mawala ng kamag-anak, and kung yun pa lang sobrang hirap na ako. What more if it's your child, right? So ayan, yun yung pwedeng maging benefit ng payout na yun. Also, kung nagra-run ka ng business and ikaw yung pinaka-business owner, no? And kailangan mo ng time para hindi mo na mag-focus dun sa business mo and focus on grieving, then you can use a portion of the money siguro to hire a manager temporarily to oversee your business. From that payout ng life insurance proceeds na yon. You can definitely do that para at least you have the time to cope. So yon, those are the pros of getting life insurance for a child. Again, number one is protect their future insurability. Second, is low rate of premium. Third is the cash value. And the fourth is the payout in time of death. Okay, ngayon, punta naman tayo sa cons. Ano bang mga downside ng pagkuha ng life insurance for children? The first one that I thought of is it's slow and low rate of return. O, 'di ba kanina may cash value siya na sinabi ko. Pero again, since ang most common na binibigay na life insurance for children in the market is yung mga whole of life or permanent life insurance, or in the Philippines it's mainly VUL or variable universal life insurance. So, slow una. Bakit mabagal yung returns nito? Kasi yung premiums mo is na-split into two. Yung a portion of it is paid is a portion of it is paying yung cost of insurance. And of course, syempre yung diyan din kinukuha yung commission nung ahente mo and yung pag-run ng business, mga admin costs involved sa policy mo. And then a portion of it is allocated sa investment. Okay, so usually mga ano yan eh, iba 50-50 or depende sa product na i-offer sa'yo ng insurance advisor. Now, in my experience, usually ang mga ganito, ang break-even niya, nagbe-break even yung nilagay mo na premiums, saka dun sa returns niya, usually nagbe-break even pa to sa 16th or 17th year. Mm. Yes. So, ganun siya kabagal pagdating sa rate of return. Kaya, I don't recommend life insurance na may mga cash value as a way to plan for a child's education kasi mabagal yung rate of return niya, and of course yung inflation ang inflation ng education sa Philippines is at 6%. So bago pa ma-build yung enough na funds, baka wala na, tapos na yung tapos na yung anak mo mag-college kung hindi, 'di ba? So ganun yung pwede mangyari. And second is low rate of return. Bakit mababa yung puwedeng maging rate of return ng iyong insurance proceeds or nung cash value ng iyong life insurance, by the way? Returns may not be that much because of course merong management fees, and yung management fees na yan can eat the fund's gains. When I say gains, yung kinita. Okay? Kasi siyempre ibabawas pa yan. Over time, nagko-compound din yung mga ganyang fees, baka break even ka lang, maganda pa na you've invested your money elsewhere na walang malaking management fee. So again, when you are looking at investment or financial products na may kaakibat na investment, okay, you have to be mindful of the management costs, yung mga fees involved. So tingnan mo yan, iba dyan dinidivide into 12 just to make sure na para mapakita na maliit yung charges nila. Sabi na, it's ano lang, it's 0.3 per month. Pero if you invest on your own, baka makakuha ka pa ng 0.3 per year na management costs. So that's one thing. That's the advantage of do-it-yourself investing. Are you confused about your finances? I know you want to change for the better, pero di mo alam kung saan ka magsisimula, anong dapat mong gawin, and sinong dapat mong lapitan. Yan din ang naging problema ko nung nag-decide akong ayusin ang finances ko. At dahil hindi ko alam ang mga sagot sa tanong na yan, I got scammed, I bought unnecessary expensive financial products, and lost money for not knowing how to invest properly. So, if you are an overseas Filipino or someone who wants to improve your financial situation, I want you to visit my website, that's jadriantolentino.com, to get free resources on how you can start your journey towards financial independence. Again, that's jadriantolentino.com. So paano? Kita-kits! Okay, that's the first cons. Second is coverage limits tend to be low. O kasi bata lang naman yung ini-insure mo, and many insurers limit the coverage amount for children's life insurance sa ano lang, $50,000 to $75,000. This is the outside Philippines na market, ha. So you have to check dyan sa Philippines if magkano yung minimum na binibigay nila. Oo, so ganun yung pwede mangyari. Mababa lang yung usual na coverage. Pero at least itong mga coverage na to is enough to again fund the expenses upon funerals or burial costs, or yung sinabi ko kanina ng mga other services to help you cope. Okay, and then third is it can be a waste of money. it can be a waste of money, Kuya Jay. Kasi, 'di ba, it's unlikely that your child will die at a young age. So baka nga your money might be better spent elsewhere. Like what I said kanina, mababa lang naman yung chances of dying ng isang bata in a global scale. And pababa siya ng pababa as the years pass by. So, yun yung mga cons na naiisip ko dito sa scenario na 'to. And again, let me just repeat those. Yung cons natin would be, number one, slow and low rate of return. Second is coverage limits tend to be low. And then third is it can be a waste of money. Okay. So, ano bang bottom line natin dito? Anong say ni Kuya Jay? Sa dami ng kanyang sinabi, no? So, ang sa akin lang is, you have to be clear with your purpose. Ano ba talaga to? Bakit mo siya kukunan ng life insurance? Bakit mo kukunan ng life insurance yung anak mo? Is it for, yun nga, for life insurance ba talaga? Or baka naman gusto mo lang din na magkaroon ng additional security? When you say security, financial security siguro. And gusto mo na magkaroon ng additional savings na magagamit for education. So, again, ito lang, lagi kong paulit-ulit na sasabihin. No? Ang main purpose ng life insurance is to cover the loss of income of a person. And it's obvious that your child is not earning yet. So, there's no sense na bigyan siya ng life insurance. Okay? You should check first if your personal life insurance is adequate to cover any loss of income for your family. If you become critically ill or die unexpectedly, yun yung mas gusto ko mag-focus on dun sa tingnan mo muna yung coverage mo ba yung coverage ba ng life insurance mo is enough para kung sakali na mategi ka or matsugi ka unexpectedly, no? Magsusurvive yung family mo for the next how many years na kakailanganin nila yung income na mawawala. Again, ulitin ko ulit 'to, 'pag namatay ang isang breadwinner, hindi lang naman yung katawan niya yung nawawala dito sa lupa, eh. Nawawala din yung income potential na dinadala niya sa isang household. Kaya napakaraming mga families na kilala ko, nakatrabaho ko before, na dating may mga kamag-anak na overseas Filipino, nagpapadala ng napakalaking pera, and then ang ganda ng buhay sa Philippines, pero nung namatay yung kanilang parent, yung kanilang breadwinner, matik, nag-bottom up yung kanilang belly up pala, bottom up, nag-belly up yung kanyang yung kanilang situation, financial situation, nahirapan talaga sila, nag-struggle sila financially kasi nga nakadepende sila dun sa pinapadala ng kanilang breadwinner. So, ang tip ko dito is alagaan mo muna yung sarili mo bago mga anak mo, okay? So, tingnan mo muna yung sarili mong life insurance bago yung kanila. And ito lang, in my opinion, you may consider getting a life insurance for your child if he or she has special needs, or there's a high chance of getting diabetes, hypertension, or other genetic medical conditions. O kung sa tingin mo, high risk yung family, marami talaga sa inyo na nagkakasakit, nadadiagnose ng diabetes at a young age, then I think can consider this. Kasi nga again, yung babalikan ko yung protecting their future insurability. Lalong-lalo na for children with special needs. Iba ang financial planning for a family that has a member na merong special needs. Kasi nga, like what I said kanina, those children of those children, their children na may special needs might require financial support sa buong lifetime nila, kahit siguro 30s or 40s na ang isang child with special need, kakailanganin pa rin yun ng guardian, and of course, kailangan may costs involved there. So, if may magtatanong kung paano yung financial planning for special needs, then it can be for a different episode kasi totally iba yung dynamics ng ganitong household. So yeah, you can consider that if you have a child with special needs. Okay? And kasi nga, itong mga ganitong children with special needs and merong other genetic medical conditions, pwede nila magamit yung critical illness and disability cover pagtanda nila, or the moment na nagkaroon sila ng isang life-threatening disease. So yon. Yun. I think dun mo lang talaga i-consider if ganyan siya. Also, if you're thinking of using life insurance cash value for your child's education, You're better off investing on your own because of the policy's slow and low rate of return, like what I said kanina. And most importantly, you should make sure you've tackled other financial priorities before buying life insurance for a child. Ito yung mga building an emergency fund, saving for retirement, and getting out of debt. Yan dapat muna ang priority mo. So kung na-check mo na yung priorities na yun, then siguro saka mo i-consider if talagang may extra money ka to spare, then why not, 'di ba? If hindi siya masakit. Kasi I think kung hindi naman kung wala naman special needs or hindi naman highly likely na magkaroon ng uh, disease or pre-existing disease yung anak mo, then you might use your money elsewhere na para mas magamit mo pa, mas maging productive pa siya kaysa ilagay mo lang dito sa ganitong klaseng products na mabagal yung returns. Okay. Now, about dun sa best insurance, if ever na talagang, oh sige, I really believe na kailangan kong kumuha ng life insurance for my child. Ano ba ang best insurance? Well, my always answer here is there's no such thing as best life insurance. Para lang din tong investment. There's no such thing as the best investment. This kasi will depend on your suitability and affordability. Kaya it's best for you to shop around and seek the advice of an independent insurance advisor. Yung tipong, I mean, I'm not sure, sa Philippines wala kasing ganong option na pwedeng sa isang tao may parang broker for insurance. So, yon. Tingnan mo yung lahat ng mga products available in the market, bangga-banggain mo, and i-check mo yung mga sinabi ko kanina. Okay? Balikan mo yung episode na to para at least malaman mo kung ano yung mga dapat mong hanapin dun sa isang insurance product na ino-offer sa'yo. Huwag ka lang kuha ng kuha. Hindi yung kung ano yung unang pinesent sa'yo ng tita mo or ng tito mo or kaibigan mo, kukunin mo na kagad. Okay? So, tingnan mo kung ano yung mga other options mo in the market. So, yun ang aking take dito sa question na to. And maraming salamat for this wonderful question dun sa nag-send nito. Thank you so much. So ikaw, anong take mo about life insurance for children? Agree ka ba sinabi ko or you have other opinion in mind? Kaya I hope na you would share your insights. Kaya feel free to message me lang sa aking social media platforms. Yon. Okay. So, ganun lang kabilis. That wraps my episode for today. And before I let you go, I hope you can listen to the other episodes of Pera and Purpose Podcast on Spotify and other podcast streaming platforms. And if you prefer watching the video of this episode, just visit my YouTube channel, Hey Kuya J. And if you want to schedule a financial coaching session with me, just message me on my LinkedIn and Facebook page, Purpose Driven Finance. Lalo na if kailangan mo ng proper way of checking kung magkano ba yung insurance na kailangan mo. Okay, so wala akong products to offer kasi I'm not licensed to sell products, but I can give coaching sessions to help you decide properly. So once again, this is Kuya J, telling you to prosper with a purpose. See you sa ating next episode. Bye!